Bringing a new puppy home is, well, it's one of the best things ever, right? But with all that joy comes a whole new set of worries. In this explainer, we're going to tackle one of the biggest ones. How in the world do you know if your puppy is actually sick? We're going to help you decode those little signals they send so you can feel way more confident.
This question. This is the one that's probably bouncing around your head at 3 a.m. One minute they're a little tornado of fun, and the next they're super quiet, and you just can't help but wonder, is everything all right?
And you know what? If you're asking yourself that question, that is a great sign. Seriously, it just means you're paying attention, you care, and you're already being a fantastic parent for your little pup. It's totally normal to feel that way. And there's a really good reason for all that worry. A puppy's immune system, well, it's basically under construction. That makes them way more vulnerable to some really serious stuff, like parvovirus or distemper. Their little bodies just don't have the same defenses an adult dog does. So the whole game is really about learning to spot trouble early. Since puppies can't just tell us, hey, I feel kind of crummy, we have to become experts at reading their body language. Think of it like you're learning their secret code. So let's get into what you should be looking for. All right, we're going to break down 11 key signs of illness you need to have on your radar. To make it a little easier, we'll start with the things you might notice just in their everyday personality and habits. Okay, first up, let's talk about their routine and just their vibe. The biggest, most obvious sign is lethargy. Is your puppy, who's usually bouncing off the walls, suddenly just blah? Other huge red flags are sleeping way more than usual or having zero interest in playing. And here's a massive one: loss of appetite. If your pup turns their nose up at their dinner or even their absolute favorite treat, something's up. Next up, let's talk about tummy troubles. Look, it's not the most glamorous part of being a pet parent, but you have to become an expert on their potty habits. Vomiting, diarrhea, or constipation are all major signals. Diarrhea is a really big deal because it can dehydrate a little puppy so fast. And if they're not pooping, it could mean they swallowed something that's causing a dangerous blockage. And I really want this to sink in. Listen to what veterinarian Dr. Amber Kawaki says here. Puppy vomiting is never considered normal. An adult dog might throw up once in a while and be fine, but for a puppy, no. It's a serious warning sign that needs your immediate attention. Okay, beyond what's coming out of them, there are other physical things to watch for. Like if they're losing weight and you don't know why, that could be a sign of parasites. Also, keep an eye on their bathroom habits. Are they peeing way more often or straining to go? And finally, just listen to them breathe. Any coughing, sneezing, or heavy panting when they're just resting is a big deal. And to round out our list, let's cover 2 more areas that are super critical. Take a look at their skin. Do you see any weird rashes, lumps, or sores? Could be an infection or an allergy. And then there are neurological issues, which can be really scary. We're talking about things like walking in circles, a constant head tilt, or, and this is an emergency, seizures. These things require you to get to a vet, like right now. Okay, wow. I know that's a lot of concerning symptoms. And that brings us to maybe the most important part of all this. You've seen a sign. So what do you do now? After seeing any of those signs we just talked about, the question really isn't if you should call the vet, it's how soon. Is this something you can kind of wait and see on, or is it more urgent than that? The answer from every expert out there is crystal clear. Right away. Don't hesitate. Things like parvo can get incredibly severe in just a few hours. A puppy's tiny body and that developing immune system mean they just don't have the reserves to fight things off. What looks like a small problem in the morning can become a life-or-death situation by the evening. Please do not wait. So you made that crucial call, you took your puppy to the vet, and now you have a diagnosis and a plan. Great! Your job now shifts a little bit. You're now in charge of their home recovery team. So your role at Homer is basically to follow the vet's game plan to a T. This is not the time to look up home remedies on the internet. Once you have that professional diagnosis, you have to follow every single instruction. That means making a quiet, comfy spot for them to rest, making sure they always have fresh water, and this is a big one, giving them every single dose of their medicine exactly when you're supposed to for the entire time they prescribed it. We've covered a ton of ground here, from spotting symptoms to what to do next. So let's just boil it all down to the most important takeaway so you can feel good about taking care of your new little buddy. So here's the bottom line. Puppies are fragile. Your job is to be their #1 defender. Get familiar with the signs we talked about, from being tired to having an upset stomach. Trust your gut. If you see anything that feels off, just call the vet immediately. Then your role is to be the best nurse at home, supporting their professional care. It's that simple. Observe, act, and support. That is the key. Just being an observant pet parent is the absolute best gift you can give your new puppy. It's not about being paranoid, it's just about being prepared. So as you go about your day today, just think about it. What's one new, specific thing you learned here that you're going to consciously watch for in your puppy?